Hello and welcome to the Would You Watch It With Your Mother podcast, where three friends subject each other to weird videos, films, and shows that they found on the internet. Each week we'll describe the videos, have a discussion about what we saw, before finally asking the big question, would you watch it with your mother? So sit back, relax, and roll that intro. Wouldn't that be a great podcast episode if I just disappeared after the clap and you guys just sat there in silence for 45 minutes?
That'd be a very good episode. It would be just as catering to the audio-only listeners as we used to.
Yeah.
I like the idea that we just subtitle it all. The audio-only listeners just there like, what is going on?
That would be... Just create an ARG out of this.
What's an ARG for people who know what that is?
An augmented reality game.
Ah.
Okay. So I'm gonna just a very famous example is like Petscop, where someone created a fake video game, but they presented it as not a fake video game. And then it's like, ooh, let's unravel the mystery, and there's like codes hidden inside the video and stuff.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Would you watch it with your mother?
Yay!
Do I remember you from somewhere? Possibly somewhere in Michigan.
What? That sounds like the name of the video.
Well, it's not actually called Possibly Somewhere in Michigan. I completely fucked the line.
No, it's called Somewhere in Michigan. Or is it
no,
possibly?
it's not. It's possibly
in Michigan.
False memories are good.
I got really confused as well because there's a Red Hot Chili Peppers song called Especially in Michigan. And I was like, what?
Can we just call it Michigan? It's
No, we're going to call it its proper name.
All right.
Okay. You can actually see my microphone.
Do you know what's funny? Is I have the title written here and I still butchered it.
Yeah, it's not really a false memory if you were just wrong.
No, I've written the correct title here.
That just sounds like a psychology student trying to back their way out of messing up the title.
No, I've literally written it here, but then I still butchered it.
The best thing to do is just get the name correct, but pronounce it completely wrong.
Possibly
in Michigan. Yes, that's what
Possibly
we're watching.
in Michigan.
Michigan.
Mickey
Flanagan.
Possibly in Mickey Flanagan. Alright. Description.
Where in Mickey Flanagan?
Oh god, this is already as trippy as Possibly in Michigan actually is. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Go on. Tell us.
Description. Possibly in Michigan. A surreal musical horror that had me bopping to some sweet catchy tunes, whilst also wondering what the hell is going on and why are there so many dogs. So basically, it follows two girls in a store, and then they're talking about a poodle in a microwave. Then there's a weird man who becomes known as Prince Charming, who's following them around the entire time, and then it gets really weird, and then one of them tries to eat the other one, and then the man gets eaten, and then my brain stopped working. I'm very confused. Send help. Boys.
So, this was my suggestion this week. Possibly in Michigan. What Gab is trying to say is that it's a surreal short musical. There we go. You might have said that, but I got lost in his.
I said surreal musical horror.
Yeah.
That had me bopping. But then I also tried to explain what happened in the thing for people that hadn't seen it. Because there is a story. It's just very confusing.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, practically, it's a very simple story. Man follows woman, woman tries to eat woman, gets eaten himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it as simple as that?
That?
Is it as simple as that? Because I don't believe it's as simple as that.
Yeah, this man who looks like a mannequin follows two ladies around a supermarket, follows one home, tries to eat her, gets killed himself, and then gets eaten.
Alright,
and then is also back at the end. Maybe.
Well, I didn't believe that he was actually a man at all.
Throughout.
I figured this is a story. This is my interpretation.
Oh, okay, we're going straight into interpretations. Excellent.
Yes, we are, because I'm very confused by the whole thing, and I need to make it clear. So I saw it as basically these two women are like evil. They make men very aggressive and make them think that it's their own doing. And then once the men get aggressive, they proceed to eat them.
How is it their fault that a guy wanted to eat them?
It does say that at the start.
But that's what
like when she's coming down on the escalator, it does say that.
Yeah, but I feel like there's got to be something pretty wrong with you to want to eat a woman.
Well,
I don't.
No, I think you're right, but I wasn't entirely sure whether the man was actually thinking that or whether it was her brain doing that, because she's like a weird cannibal herself, and I think maybe she just. I'm very confused. But the thing is, I was watching this with somebody, and they pointed out that in their garden, that there is a corpse in the garden already when he picks up the rock. So they must have killed other people. They seem very chill about all this.
Bushby's look of confusion.
I think I missed that second corpse.
So you know when he picks up the rock, and there's a mask with worms on it in the garden?
Yeah.
Well, we've just assumed that the masked men are all the men that they've killed in the past.
Oh, so where it's changing from like mask to mask, they're all like different people.
That's how we saw it anyway. And then, because there's a weird moment when they've so spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Possibly in Michigan. At the end of it, they kill the man, and then they're like sat there smoking, and then she like looks in the mirror, and then she looks like a guy in a mask, which made me think that this wasn't actually just one guy in a mask at all. It was lots of people, and that they're just all violent people, and they're just all monsters. And that was how I saw it. I don't know. Do you want to explain, Barnaby?
That's pretty valid. What about you, Bushby? You got any thoughts?
Well, I mean, all my thoughts are kind of in the form of questions, really.
Go on.
So the first question is what the fuck. Second question is also what the fuck. Third question, like, what is the purpose of this? Is there any kind of like actual deep meaning behind it? Like, you know, don't eat women or you might get eaten yourself.
Otherwise known as what the fuck.
Yeah. And then fourthly? Number
004, please proceed.
Like, what was the thought process in making this video from the person who made it? Because it's a very just like, okay, I'm going to do a slightly shorter than 12-minute video on cannibals featuring a lot of weird imagery and just getting an entire storyline into that. Because, like, a lot goes on, and it's very short. On fifthly, are we on number 5?
Fifthly, yeah.
Fifthly.
005.
Is there any sheet music for this available? Because I want to learn, like, all the songs.
Let's have a look. Sheet music for Possibly in Michigan.
Honestly, it's so catchy.
Perfume song, Possibly in Michigan chords.
Oh my god, yes.
Animal Cannibal, Possibly in Michigan. Here you go, Bushby.
I bite at the hand that feeds me. It's so catchy.
It is, though. It's so catchy. It shouldn't be anywhere near as good as it is, maybe. But I love it. I actually do love it.
There are a lot of confused feelings there.
Yeah.
What?
No, just with Bushby going like, should it exist? But yes, I'm glad.
Yeah,
that's a lot of good
I was
music,
confused by the entire thing, to be fair, but I yeah, it's just a lot went on in 12 minutes, but I really liked it.
trying to get
only really 10 minutes, because 1 minute of that is just dustbin truck.
Well, yeah, exactly. But one of the things I absolutely love as well, like the actual YouTube video, like in the description at the bottom, it's got a timestamp of 11:45, which is the very end of the video. Like literally, that's it, because the video is 11 minutes 45 seconds long. Why is there a timestamp right at the end?
Just in case you don't want to watch it anymore.
No, that's just in case you don't want to watch any of it.
So, okay. Yeah, it's like a free button to skip.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't give you enough skip buttons, so they provide them for you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go into the info section.
Tell us, boy. Tell us your knowledge.
Right. Yes, I will. So, first I'll give a little backstory on how I found this. So, while I was just relaxing, having a bit of a chill time, and I was on YouTube. And I don't know if either of you, possibly Gav, I'm not sure if Bushby will have seen, but on YouTube there's like a trend going around of analysing like icebergs of like, you might have seen like music ones, Bushby, where it's like alternative rock, and it will be like, the tip of the ice, or the clouds will be like, Foo Fighters, whatever. Even though they're not really alternative rock, but it'll be like rock, and then it will go like down and down and down, and like the bottom of the iceberg will be like some alternative rock band from Uzbekistan, who each member is actually also a murderer. They got their music put on like a tape, some stuff like that. You might have seen it.
I don't know, but I like the sound of that.
I'm very
okay, well that's what the icebergs are. So I was on a YouTube video that was like the YouTube iceberg, and this was about under the water, relatively deep.
Right.
And it was actually weirdly one of the only videos I didn't recognize. So don't worry, we got lots of content from the iceberg.
Oh boy.
I was horrifically reminded of. But yes. So I found it on that, and I was instantly intrigued because the mannequin man killer person freaked me out. He freaks me out. Yeah. I don't like him.
He's got a weird mask.
Can we, just on a slight tangent, talk about how great that guy under the mask mustache is when he's not in the mask? You briefly see him. You briefly see him. He's got like the most 80s look. He's got chiseled jaw, like proper like handlebar mustache, curly hair. Well, no one else appreciates him, so I'll just move on.
I really did, to be fair. Like,
I don't remember him.
To be fair, I was more, because it was that point where he was called Prince Charming. He was there without the mask, and it's just like, I can see that, mustache in all its glory.
Honestly, I was so busy focusing on the masks that the man's face was irrelevant to me. There was so much going on that I didn't even recognize that he had a face, honestly.
It was a moment of reprieve. To be honest, all the other masks are absolutely fine. It was just the starting mask.
Can we also just throw back to the old lady who just randomly is just an old lady and a dog halfway through, in a very different camera quality to the rest of the show, or the rest of the video, film, whatever this is.
Well, fun fact is that stuff is actually shot on film, where the majority of this is like shot on camcorders, I believe. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll get to that. So, I immediately set about trying to find information. So it is actually fairly popular, and I'll get to that, why it's fairly popular. But one of the first things that comes up when you search it is a commonly asked Google question of, is possibly in Michigan cursed?
Right.
Okay.
To which my answer is maybe? I feel cursed watching it. So going on from there, The actual film itself was created by Cecilia Condit, which, looking back, the actual video that's posted on YouTube is her YouTube account. So, Good for her. People are at, like, this video is numbering in, like, 3.5 million views. Awesome for her. She is a surreal feminist filmmaker who focuses on issues of feminism and likes to in her surrealism likes to contrast imagery, so comparing, like, having really beautiful things with really grotesque things. A good example in this is where one of the leading actors is, like, in a bed of flowers or, like, petals, I guess, and then it, like, cuts to, like, superimposes and cuts to, like, a decaying corpse, and so you're like, ooh, look, she's all serene and calm, and then it's like, ooh, that is
dead
a
people.
corpse? Question mark. Which I don't know if it was a real corpse, which I hope it wasn't.
Yeah,
then I take issue with that.
It didn't look real.
But from what I can tell, she is really badass. Like, her other stuff, it's just like her commitment to making weird stuff is awesome. As far as I can tell, she's never actually made a feature film, which is very disappointing. But I feel like she wouldn't. If she did make a feature film, she might have to tone it down, which I don't know if I would want.
Maybe she doesn't like the idea of that either. Maybe she likes keeping it short.
See, I think if she did make, like, a feature film type thing, it'd end up being very, very similar to something like Tetsuo.
Yes. That was literally how I was comparing it to the entire way through. It was like, the cuts,
very similar vibes.
Not quite as metal, but, you know.
No, well,
a lot more fleshy. This one's the complete opposite of Tetsuo in many ways.
Yeah.
So I couldn't actually find many interviews with her, but I imagine if I went deeper, I'd be able to find some. But I did find a good quote from a film critic called Patricia Mellencamp from a magazine called After Image, which I believe is a film magazine from the 80s. I don't know if it's still going. Basically, she said about this film, putting on femininity with a visual and narrative vengeance. Conduit's disconcerting irony and sweetly gruesome stories also put on and undo societal prescriptions and taboos regarding women's options to subjugation by violence or the gaze, letting us see and hear what often remains hidden, behaving with impropriety. Big word at the end that I can't say. But yeah, I think basically, at least what I got, and why I was questioning Gav's reading of them being violent, which, you know, they are, but, like, I think it's important that, yes, they may be cannibals, but it does appear that this man was trying to eat them.
I think
in the first place.
Which is why I found the whole thing weird. I guess without context behind the making of the film, it leaves it a lot more broad as to what the intentions are. So, like, again, there's a lot of weird imagery in weird places that can let you draw weird conclusions, I think, is the key to this. But I wasn't necessarily even entirely sure whether it was the man's intentions or their intentions imposed on the man.
See, when they said we had things in common, like, we attract violence, I was thinking that they were, like, attracted to each other, and they attracted each other through their violence that they like to conflict on people that inflict it on them, and the violence that they get from others is unintentional.
Right.
Okay.
See, I just assumed that all three were violent regardless, and they all just had violent natures, and that once one provoked the other one, it was just all inside all of them all the time.
But there is, I guess, where I would slightly disagree is that the two. This is, you ever have a moment where you're like, you get like an out of body experience and you see yourself talking, and it's like, man, I'm talking about cannibal women.
Yeah.
I guess the big difference, trying to get back in my body here. The main difference is that the women in this are like, they do kill the guy in self-defense, and they do happen to enjoy eating the body. Then the male cannibal is like, his motivations are all weird and messed up. I know that's weird to say that they were cannibals, but like, he was also mixing it up with like romantic attraction and sexual attraction.
Yeah. So I saw that element.
That's what gave me like a glimpse. It's like, maybe it's not actually about literal cannibalism.
So maybe it's not.
Or me and Patricia Mellencamp are reading too much into it, but I don't think we are, because I think Cecilia Conduit kind of agrees somewhat.
Yeah, maybe that was the intention. Again, I feel like I'm looking at this as very much face value and not metaphorical value of life.
Which is fair enough.
Yes.
We're ready to move on? We can do?
Yeah, I mean, well...
Oh?
Yeah, just... because looking at the... so the actual video on YouTube, like, the actual description from her, like, I don't know, it's very kind of mixed, in a way. I mean, I've got it here.
Go on.
So it says, a musical horror story about two young women who are stalked through a shopping mall by the cannibal named Arthur. He follows them home, and here the victims become the aggressors. It is a story of friendship, courage, frailty, and fears that will not go away. So, like, that last sentence, it's like you can kind of see the metaphor, but then the first one just saying, yeah, it's a cannibal named Arthur.
I want to know the backstory of the dog. Why did the woman put the dog in the microwave?
See, that bit confuses me as well, which is, again, the initial reason as to why I just assumed they were just evil is because she kind of goes like, she puts the dog in the microwave, and then the other girl goes, to eat it? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, to eat it? And she goes, no. No. So I was there like, they already like, seem like they're willing to eat animals and humans. Like, that was already freshly in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't seem too bothered by the fact that they were talking about eating a dog or a dog exploding.
Yeah. Okay, awkward transition. The music was composed by one of the actors in the film. I believe I lost track of people's names because they just said them a lot at one point, and then I forgot who was who. But she's the one with the straight hair. She is called Karen Skladany. Skladany? I probably butchered that.
Skladany. I don't know.
Skladany. Yeah, she's the one with the straight hair.
Right.
And she also wrote the music and starred in the film. And I guess, yeah. What do we all think of the soundtrack?
I love it. I love it. Again, it reminded me of a short film you did. I'm going to bring it up. Called, was it Bittersweet Peach or was it Bittersweet Lemon? I can't remember.
Bittersweet Peach.
And you did the entire soundtrack yourself. And it definitely gave me those vibes. It was really good.
I'm going to give Karen Skladany a bit more credit because me and the person that I did the soundtrack with literally just picked up an out-of-tune ukulele and strummed away and then just made sounds with our voices, and for some scenes just slapped our hands on the wall to create a nice wet sound effect. So I'm going to give
atmosphere,
Karen,
though. It created a real atmosphere. That was the key thing to it, though, and that's what she does really well here. it creates this really weird, whilst also starting the story, it creates this weird, I'm going to say uneasy atmosphere throughout the entire thing. I felt very uncomfortable just from music. If I hadn't seen the rest of it at the start, I felt very uncomfortable while simultaneously bopping my head.
Yeah.
I was there like, this is really catchy. I hate everything. I don't want to be here. But also, oh my god, it's so catchy.
Resident musician. Have you got anything to say?
So, initially when I started watching the video, like I made a little bit of a boo-boo, so to speak. So I went to open it in YouTube, and as I was watching it there, I didn't realize it was playing on Discord at the same time, but there was like a weird like 1.5 2 second delay.
Oh no.
So I had this like really weird like it just sounded like a complete train wreck. And I must have been doing that for about 2 minutes, and all the conversations were really weird as well. So because I was like, I don't know if I can do this for like 12 minutes before I actually found out I was just an idiot. But then, because I paused one of them, took the other one back to the start, watched it from there, and the music was just mint. Like,
it's got layers. It's got layers to it.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if it should be as good as it is, really. It's one of them things where everything just... If you take everything separately, it's like, it's just kind of weird, but you put everything together and, well, it's still weird, but it all works.
But it's weird in a good way now.
It feels... like, you joke, but, like, there's a big difference between stuff that's just weird and stuff that's weird with, like, an intent.
Yeah.
It wasn't just being like, I'm going to do something wacky today. There was, like, thought from somebody who seems to like doing wacky things.
I must admit it was creative.
Yeah.
Especially in,
without a doubt.
telling the story wise as well.
So, you both said that you swear you've seen this before.
Yeah, I felt like I'd heard it.
Yeah, definitely, like, because as soon as it started playing, when I heard it properly, when it started playing, I was like, I've definitely heard it from somewhere. I don't know where, but...
Yeah, I got weird deja vu from the song, which I think is another thing. So tell us, where would we have heard this from?
Well, do you want to have a guess?
I'm memes.
Clueless. Genuinely
memes. Gav's pretty close. It apparently was a TikTok trend.
It was a TikTok? What?
Really?
Apparently it was a TikTok trend.
Oh my god. Anything will be a TikTok trend these days.
Apparently, the director uploaded it to a YouTube channel, and then someone happened to scroll across it, and then liked the music or found it creepy, and then did it as a TikTok.
I'm surprised. I didn't expect, of all the places, I didn't think TikTok would be the place.
Yeah, I might have to track it down at some point.
Yeah, well, yep, that's where it got popular again.
Right.
Which, I guess it turns this into kind of like a heartwarming story where, like...
Yeah.
I mean, okay, finding the numbers, I'm not even entirely sure how it was distributed, but I'm guessing because it had a lot of people that were special thanks at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it was spread around a fair amount in 1983. But, I mean, it was probably... I mean, the fact that it was uploaded to YouTube probably means that there's not, like, some sort of Celia Conduit DVD release or, like, VHS collection. So, like, it's pretty cool that after, the quick maths, 10, 20, 30, nearly 40 years, it's got a resurgence. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Especially on something like TikTok.
Well,
where it's a very recent thing. To see anything from 1983 re-emerge on TikTok that's not like a major track hit is fair play. To be fair, they are bops. Those musics Those musics in that film, they are bops. Those songs are really good.
Yeah, I think they're fantastic, and also like it's got that weird like, well, I don't know how to say it. Bushby might be able to help me with this, but like it's got the overlay, which is like the actual song where it's like the cannibal song, and it's like kind of jaunty, and there's the lyrics, but then there's like an underlayer of like a synth that's just left to play. It's kind of like a buzz that's not from the audio equipment. It's kind of like intentionally in there just to unsettle you a bit further. I don't know how you'd call that, but there's definitely something else playing during the song.
Bushby's like, it's just a noise.
It's just layers, isn't it?
Yeah. Layered. It's like an ogre.
It's layered.
It's an onion. That's how we're going to describe music like that from now on. This is an onion song.
Oh my god. Yeah, and that's about the information that I've got.
I do think it's interesting that we had two very different ways of looking at this from my perspective. The face value one, and then more so to what the actual creator wanted us to, kind of get out of it, maybe. And they're very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something like this is most likely not going to be face value. That's usually where something like this that falls into like lazy territory is just like, I want weird imagery for the sake of being weird. And, like,
well, I didn't necessarily think it was for the sake of being weird. I thought it was for the sake of telling a story, but I didn't necessarily think there was more to it than just a story, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes, possibly.
Kind of like an urban legend kind of thing, where you hear of like this crazy women who like pull somebody in, like a crazy man who like lures people in and then lures killers in maybe, and then gets revenge on killers in kind of like a retribution style thing. Like, I don't know. That was kind of how I saw it, as more of like an urban legend of a guy or a woman who like gets revenge on evil people by being evil themselves.
By eating them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, why do they eat the guy? I mean, are they meant to be cannibals, or do they just think, well, fuck it, he was going to eat us, so let's give him a taste of his own medicine by tasting him.
Maybe that literally is it. Give him a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, well, I think it's supposed to be like that's what he was going to do to her, and it's sort of like liberating themselves from that fate by, I guess in this case, enacting it, but also like they probably didn't want to have to kill him. I don't know.
But also, since hearing the alternative interpretation, it has made me think more about the many masks, and maybe that it's not multiple guys, but the fear of more people coming back again.
Yeah. There's a lot to read.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever gone on to TV tropes?
No.
Right. TV tropes is an absolutely fantastic resource. Basically, it's you take any piece of media, so we'll take Possibly in Michigan, and it'll show you what tropes are in it, because culturally there will be tropes that repeat, and it has given names to these tropes. Usually, so like the community will generally decide on the name, and then that trope will have a name, and it is actually used for like academic resources, etc., etc. I just thought I'd read some of these tropes out for Possibly in Michigan, because I do find them quite funny. So
okay.
So one trope is called ambiguously gay. The fact that Sharon and Janice enjoy their pivotal meal together while apparently completely nude might mean nothing, or it might mean everything.
Oh wow.
I definitely got a gay vibe from it. That they were supposed to be gay. But again...
Not necessarily from the eating part, though.
Yeah. I don't get this one. It's the trope badass in a nice suit. So, like...
Are they on about Prince Charming?
Yeah, Arthur, aka Prince Charming, who always wears a tuxedo. Are they just assuming that he's a badass because
he wears
a tuxedo?
I think yes, judging from what you've said.
Unless he's like, because he's the antagonist type who's wearing a suit. So it's like, I can't think of any bad guys who wear suits now, but yeah.
There must be a Bond villain or something, maybe.
Yeah. Just insert Bond villain here.
Like,
just Bushby's face
I'm
over
sure
a suit.
David Tennant must have played one. I can only think of him and none of the characters he's ever played.
What's his bloody name in Jessica Jones?
Jessica Jones. Thingy.
Does Dr. Evil wear a suit?
Kilgrave.
Kilgrave. Yes.
Kilgrave.
Yes.
Yeah, he wears a suit and he's a villain. Yes. That's one example. Don't need any more than that.
Another trope is just the 80s. The early 80s are on full display here.
I mean, is that a trope, or is that just because it was made in the 80s?
Yeah. I think it might be because it was made in the 80s.
Oh my god. I didn't see this one before. Okay, this needs a bit more explanation. One of the tropes is... There is a trope called Microwave the Dog. The description is someone killing a pet by putting it into a microwave oven and turning it on. The pet might explode as well. This is a form of microwave misuse, another trope. This could be a case of kick the dog, which is another trope. Just some misguided old lady or child trying to dry the pet out after it got wet, which is literally word for word what happens in Michigan.
In the film.
Yeah. See, I was just thinking then, like, how can something like this be a trope? Surely it'd have to be in quite a few things, but then instantly I thought of Ang Lee's Hulk film.
Yeah.
Like, right at the start where, like, they blow up a frog.
Well, there's a short list of films that it's in.
Oh my god.
I've never heard of Urban Legends. Yeah, one of the gremlins in Gremlins is killed in a microwave.
Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass, yes.
Not an animal, but there is actually a person who gets put in a microwave.
Yeah.
And then there's Snakes on a Plane, where one of the flight attendants microwaves a snake.
Okay.
This feels like reaching for tropes here.
Yeah, I feel like they're stretching it a little bit, but sure.
Yeah.
And then possibly my favourite trope, Sanity Slippage Song.
What?
This is going to need some elaboration. Some songs are about being in love. Some songs are about angst. Some songs are about being insane. Which I guess is this song. I think.
Are they insane?
Well, I'm not entirely sure whose POV the song is actually from. I don't know if I think it's theirs and also Arthur.
I think it's all three of them. Well, the intro song is for sure. The second song, where they're singing about the dog, I don't think so. Unless Arthur also knows Aunt Kate. Maybe he was the dog. Maybe he exploded. I'm questioning everything now. You sound like you don't agree with me on that one. I don't understand why. Perfectly valid. God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys ready? Ready?
Are we going for the three ratings?
Quickly though, like I found quick one. I found probably the greatest review ever, like of anything ever on this. It was on IMDb, and I only had like 4 reviews for this, but this one stood out. So it was given 9 out of 10 stars. It literally just goes, women, 2, stalker, masks, editing, great, stairs, up, down, interesting, feminists, sexism, ghosts, science fiction, experiment, and avant-garde. Hooray!
That is actually,
how good is that review?
That is actually everything I think of when I think of the film.
It's just perfect.
That would have been a better
Except maybe
description than
science
my
fiction.
description.
Oh my god. That should
Yeah.
be that should just be the description for the video version of this.
Yeah, Bushby, just send me that. We'll just post it. We'll even quote the
Stairs
guy.
go up, down.
But that's it. It's just stairs, up, comma, down.
Oh my god.
Oh,
All
right.
I guess to
Bushby.
sum up, I found it a very strong piece. Because I can tell, like, if, for example, if this was just about a cannibal that wanted to eat like a dude, and then the dude turned out to eat the cannibal, that I can't really see any like deeper message that the film would be trying to do. But the fact that it is specifically by feminist filmmaker and it's a dude trying to eat a woman, and then the woman again does kill him in self-defense.
Nah, she Uno reverse cards. Let's be real.
Yeah, Uno reverse cards this guy and sort of like flips the script. For again, if that happened to like, if the same dialogue was coming out of like a dude, probably would be like, okay, so this guy likes eating people, but then here it makes you kind of like question. It's like, what's going on? This guy was just following her, and then like the fact that he's in a suit kind of gives him, because he kind of looks like one of the mannequin dolls when he's in the supermarket or in the shopping mall, and it's kind of like he's blending in, even though he's got a horrifically terrifying face, which I'll never be able to get out of my mind ever. But anyway,
I actually kind of want to
Yeah.
buy that mask now.
Why?
please don't.
Just don't.
Don't. I guess I've started saying if it's good or not. I think it's good.
I also think it's good. I think it's definitely an interesting story. The music's good. I really enjoy the bops. Very creepy, very confusing as well. But you know, what else do you get from surreal? If you're not slightly confused by what's going on, is it really surreal? That's Gav's hot take. Bushby.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, what?
If you're not slightly confused by something surreal, is it surreal?
Okay. Bushby, is it good?
I
I just
think-
needed to clarify what I heard.
Yeah. It's still kind of running through my head a little bit. But okay. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just go
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
go.
it reminded me like I can almost see like this might be a basis of what a lot of like the Adult Swim videos are based off. Like, because
Yeah.
I watched a couple of them recently, and I'm just like, you know, similar kind of runtime, and then similar sort of like, oh, this is just weird imagery, but with maybe a deeper meaning behind it, and yeah, it might just kind of like be the original thing. Yes, template. That's the word.
Yeah. I can see that.
So, yeah, I think it's good. But yeah, I like the music in it.
Yeah, I think the
But it's
music's
weird.
is the
It does
biggest
the
song.
job, I think. If I don't really know what the job is, but I think it does the job.
It does our job.
Yeah.
A job has definitely been done during this.
Oh. Right. What the fuck factor?
Very high in my books. Very high. I was very confused. Yeah. I still don't understand the imagery of so many dogs. I don't know why there needed to be so many dogs. Out of 10, I'm going to give this at least 7.8. What the fucks? It wasn't so much that my brain totally melted like Tetsuo, but it was still pretty confusing and still very weird. Yeah. Bushby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
the way you had that body experience there.
Yeah, it was. It's. I was trying to think of some kind of numerical value, but it's not try and do that again. Yeah, it's high on the scale, but I don't know where to place it really. I'm still trying to process it really. Like, I mean, it's one of those, like, ever since I watched it, I've just kind of had little bits come back to me at different points, so it keeps me thinking about it. But yeah, I think quite high on the what the fuck scale. Not very top, but high. Yeah.
I probably agree with that. I think it was pretty weird. Yeah. Honestly, just the mask, the way things are put together, the editing, especially the music, the whole vibe of the thing is just weird, very weird. But there's like some sort of like dreamlike quality that sort of sticks with you. Yeah, I'd put it somewhere high on the what the fuck factor. I think it's like shortness as well adds to it. It's just like an abrupt thing, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Right, are we ready for the ultimate question?
I'm ready.
Right, who wants to go first?
Would I watch it with my mother? Yes. I think I would. You know, it wasn't horrific necessarily. It was weird. Covered some interesting topics. But it wasn't so creepy and weird that I wouldn't watch it with my mum. Like, it was just a bit bizarre. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to watch it. I think she'd probably be very confused. But I still think she'd enjoy the music, which I think is the key thing. And I think we could have a weird discussion about it afterwards, about what was really going on. So yeah, I have no reason not to watch this with my mother. What about you guys?
Bushby?
I probably not. I just yeah. I mean, like as you said, Gav. Like you know, there's nothing really that out there that you couldn't watch it with, like, mum. But I don't know. I just like I don't see my mum liking this, and I don't know. Like, I mean, because I watched this by myself as well, and I don't know if that's how you should really watch it. Should you really watch it with just another person in general? Like, I don't know. It's yeah. Say I'm still trying to like kind of figure out the video in my own head. So
I watched it with somebody, and when I like watching it with somebody, you get to talk about it a bit more, but I don't really feel like it changed the whole experience necessarily.
It feels like something that you're like, right, I want to set the scene. You're wandering around a forest, and you see an abandoned house. You see a flickering light from the abandoned house. You walk into the abandoned house, and this is playing on a loop on an old CRTV.
No.
That's the kind of vibe I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Again, is it cursed? This feels like something that I don't feel like was meant to be seen.
Well, that's the thing as well.
But I'm glad I did see.
Like, I don't want to curse my mum, so...
Yeah, are we cursed now?
I maybe?
I was cursed anyway. I
not.
saw Tetsuo. I feel like I was cursed for life after that.
What is more... What do you... So you feel like Tetsuo was more cursing? Like, it cursed you more?
Yeah, I feel like Tetsuo was left lingering trauma. I'm not okay with. I felt so uncomfortable during Tetsuo. I was there like, oh my god, I don't know if I want to watch this. I feel like if I'd watched, possibly in Michigan, in an abandoned house for the first time in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere, yes, I might be slightly more scared of it. But honestly, in terms of generally creeping me out and making me feel very uncomfortable, Tetsuo had a much more cursing effect than possibly a Michigan even came close to.
I see. I understand. What about you, Bushby?
Yeah, I think it's probably just down between them. It's down to the length of it. Like, I think if possibly Michigan was like a full length film or the same length as Tetsuo, then I think it might have the same kind of impact. But because it's literally like 11:45, it's compact enough that you can deal with it. I mean, with Tetsuo, I was pretty much watching it in like 12-minute sections anyway. 'Cause I could not do that bastard in one sitting.
Yeah.
I think if this was the same length as Tetsuo, I would say this was more cursed. Because Tetsuo has like a manic, frantic energy to you that can kind of keep you engaged. Like, it's just punching you in the face and keeping you there, but this is kind of like, I'm not comfortable with what's going on. You slowly lose your sanity. Would I watch it with my mother? No? I don't. I don't.
Now it's just like a weirdo. I got you.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't think she'd enjoy it. She'd probably just say, "What?"
Yeah.
But probably, I don't know. She might be concerned. She might be like, "What are you doing?" And I'll be like,
I don't know.
It's cool, innit? And then she'll be like, "Is it?"
I'd just be there like, what do you think of this? And then my mum will probably have some really weird story about. She likes weird.
About an animal
things.
cannibal.
Yes. But no, I don't see any reason not to watch this.
See, the thing is, the thing that I'm imagining it is like, going back to my mum's house and being like, right, Mum, I've got something for us to watch, and then proceeding to put this on. I couldn't do it. Like, it's you're just weird.
Two no's, one yes.
Damn it! I almost went the whole episode without having to bleep.
Damn it!
Wait, what did you bleep? I missed something.
Oh.
It's fine. You don't need to know.
It's fine. We'll just gloss over it like nothing happened.
I'm an animal cannibal. Ah.
I bite the hand that feeds me.
I'm gonna have to learn these songs. I really am gonna have to learn how to play them.
The Rotten Robbies will have to do a cover of this.
Oh my god, yes.
Cover the video as well.
Yes. The full 11 minutes, except for the dog parts.
Well, Gav can be the creepy guy with the mask because he said he wants to buy it.
Oh, I can get a dog mask. I can be the doggo. I can be both the man and the doggo.
At the same time, walking yourself.
Yes.
That's getting into other weird territory.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Why does it always take a weird turn with us? Just don't put me in a microwave, guys, please.